Hey team, Wade White here, and it's week 10, and here we go with our Grow Profit or Die tips of the week for growing your profit. This week I'm on vacation in Miami. I'm actually here to accept an award from YPO. It's one of their what they call their best of the best. It's one of their top awards you can win. It's for the work I did inside of the YNG network over the last couple of years. If you know me, you know I've done a lot of travel and a lot of international work, helping YPO get the YNG network officially out there over the last few years. It's been a real honor to do that work and then to be honored with an award for all the work that we did. So anyhow, I'm really excited. I am on vacation. That's why I'm super casual. It's also why this video is not from one of my normal studios, but I am committed to getting out the video and the updates every single week. As I got ready for this, obviously that spurred on the theme of this week's email, which is give them ribbons. And it made me think as I was getting this award. I wrote about this actually in my book about how I chased too many awards back in my last business, and I wish I would have chased gross profit. While I'm happy to get this award, it reminds me of how you can use awards and ribbons not for yourself. Don't fall in that trap. And get a wake-up call. I talk about this trap, but for other people. And this is not to trap them, but it is to use the human side of us, the human thing that yearns for recognition, that yearns for status. It's a real thing. As humans, we have that desire. It's not deniable. You cannot deny it. It's fact. We see it around us, whether it's in social media, whether it's in our rewards we get and our status we get for travel. Everywhere in our life, people are looking for rewards and status. And so I just want to encourage you with your staff. Tip number one, please go out there and recognize them. Now, what happens and what I find often in businesses, unfortunately, is that we don't recognize and we don't reward our employees for a couple of reasons. First off, it takes a lot of effort. You got to figure out what works in your business. You have to go then do the work, and you have to be consistent. And it's so much easier just to offer them more money or more incentives than that way. But I will tell you, as Napoleon said, you could conquer the world with just enough ribbon if you take the time to implement it. And so, as we've talked in past weeks, a lot of this comes down to experimentation, but this is also going to come down to discipline, because there's going to be a little bit of fear, and you're not sure, and you'll have a few of your employees tell you it doesn't work, or they'll mock it. But trust me, all employees love this. And maybe I shouldn't say all, I should say most, but either way, many do, and it does work. And I also reference a good friend of mine, Matt Young, over at Comfort Research. He's a co-founder of that business, has been in there for almost 30 years now. They've had crazy, wild success. And he's also a speaker. He's got a book he's been working on. And he talks a lot about this in his Comfort Manifesto. You can get that. It's a book that they published. And also in his TED Talks that he does around how culture wins every time. And so I'd really encourage you to check that out. Matt says it so much better than I do. And I've done his his culture walks at his business. If you ever get a chance to do it, I'd recommend it. I've brought my team in there to do it. My team and my customers in the past. So definitely check out what they do there. Definitely check out Matt. But either way, that works. Tip number 2, hurrying along here as I go a little long. Tip number 2, remember status works with your clients as well. Work with your company, and how could you do this with your clients? What would it take to incent or give your client status? Now, you may scoff at or not worry about airline miles or airline status, but there's a lot of people who do everything they can to maintain it. You might scoff at people who are part of country clubs. There's people who would make sure they're a member of that. There's a lot of things that we do in life for status. And so in your business, find ways to take advantage of that. Now, both these tips are intended to do one thing: grow your gross profit. Remember, our theme, what we're focusing on this year and probably forever from this point on now, is that your businesses are very inefficient. You're not taking advantage of some of the simple things that you could do, albeit some of them take a little bit of work. They're not hard, and these are two of the simple tips or tricks you can implement today in your business to grow your gross profit. Too often we grow revenue thinking we'll grow profit and income, and in many cases we don't. We need to first grow our gross profit and our income, then we can grow our revenue. So go do these things. And if you're not doing these things and instead you're growing just revenue and you're trying to incent people more with cash or with money, you're not going to have the same success as somebody who does these tips and tricks and grows that income and then grows their business. Well, I could say more, but with that, I should let you go. Have a great day and a great week. I'm going to enjoy my time here in Miami, and I look forward to seeing you next week for another tip or trick.